We are live. Welcome to another episode of Ask a Photo Pro. It's your friendly neighborhood host. I'm Carty. Today we're getting into photo reviews. It is your absolute favorite episode of the week. I haven't done photo reviews. It was Christmas. I was away in Montreal last week, so I haven't done photo reviews. I missed it last week, but we are getting into it today. Welcome. Glad you guys are all here with me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are tuned in live, I appreciate you. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, favorite shot of the week. It is called Real Photo Reviews. Let's get into the Discord. By the way, if you want to submit your photos for review, you have to be on the Discord. The Discord is where all of these photos get looked at. That's where I'm actually looking at these pics. So make sure you have added yourself to my Discord, please, because I want to see your photos. All right, let's get into some submissions. Going all the way back here to the 19th, Scuba Steve. So Steve said, before the assignment was even announced, I already had a vision for this shot. My original vision was to have the motion blur with the arm holding the tool, but that didn't work out. So I ended up on this image that I'm happy with, and it almost looks like it could be an ad for tools. I used an aperture MC light panel under the hood and another LED light to barely light the back wall to show the rims of the background without being too much distracting. Very much looking forward to your feedback. Scuba Steve. Let's get into Scuba Steve's first image. Really nice lines here, Steve. Really nice lines. I like this photo. I feel like all your details, everything that you were doing from trying to get us details, here on the hood. Trying to give us details here on the hood. Everything that you're doing back here with giving us light there, the light panel that's pushing light down here, the exposure is really good. The only thing that I see is the leveling. I think that it feels like it's leaned a bit that way just because of this line right here. I think that line could be just a little bit straighter, which would then make this line here just a little bit straighter. The leading line with the arms coming into the engine, the little bit of a hint of a face here, the detail, the patina on the hood, or the wetness, I guess, because it looks like this is wet. It's a great image. I really like it. The composition is strong. You have really good center. Nothing really important in the center is what I'm trying to say. This is a good shot. You get the smoke. Great job. Great job. That is Scuba Steve with our first image. Good job, Scuba Steve. I like this. It's a good picture. You put a lot of detail in there. Clearly, you put a lot of detail in there. You can see it. Like, I see. Yeah, Scuba Steve said the shot was taken at an angle. He tried to straighten it, but it felt weird. So, okay, I appreciate you. I appreciate it. You did a good job, though, my guy. Great job. All right, who is next for me? Stephen C. Portrait of my stepfather, the man who raised me on his own, and taught me everything I know about auto mechanics and construction. He also taught me how to be the man I am today. This is him working on the front of the garage, shot with the Sony a7 III and a Tamron 28-75 G1. Stephen C. Stephen, this is great. I really like this sensibility. Look at it as a cover. Really great shot. I mean, he's up on something, so you do have to look up at him. But this is a strong photo. Like, it's really, really strong. I like the fact that you left room here for a cover. Like, you left up here this space for the masthead. That's actually kind of dope. I like this blue sky here. This is giving you some leading line, although this line is cutting through his head. The exposure that's on his face, the tape measure, the pencil, the plywood, like all of this just, it's a great shot. It's editorially busy, but it gives us the context that we need. For me, it's a win. It's a win, Steve. It's great. I mean, I would love to see more shots where you're up there with him and you're shooting him at the same head angle, but the vibe is there. I really like it, and it's dope. Good job. That's a picture from Stephen C. Very good job, my guy. All right, let's look at another. Stephen C. This is Ezra. A fly on the wall in Manhattan. Used the A7R3 with a 90mm 2.8. Shot at 100th of a second at ISO 400. This is Ezra. This is a candid street portrait. It's a vibe. It's a vibe for sure. Let me just look at your settings again. You were shooting at 2.8. The 2.8 for me is where I think because you're shooting at 2.8, we lose. And also, by the way, Ezra, your pictures have to be bigger. This is not 4,000 wide. You'll see everywhere the requirements, 4,000 pixels this way, and then by whatever at 100 DPI. Because I can't click this picture and make it any bigger. When I click, nothing happens. You'll notice the photo before, when I click it, it gets this big. That's so I can actually see the sharpness in the detail. So when you submit, make sure you resize your photos to 4,000 pixels wide by 100 DPI. So I could actually check the focus, because I really do want to see what's going on with the focus here. And I'm also noticing that he's slightly out of focus. That's because you're shooting at 2.8. And the distance between her here and him here is actually, there's a margin of difference. Because of that, in order to get them both in focus, you need to have, you need to kind of get a bit of a narrower depth of field, which is going to then increase the car and that person and the fence and this pole growing through his head. It's kind of tricky. I think that you should have to take a step that way to kind of center this pole a little bit more in between them. Find that just a little bit distracting. The exposure on her face is a bit low. You can see the light is coming from that way. Even if it's an overcast day, you can see she has raccoon eyes, which means the light's coming from the top. You can see how the top of her hat is lit, the top of her shoulders is lit, and under here is shadowy. So because of that, the exposure on her face is a bit low. And also the centering, you can see that there's lots of space here, but it's quite clipped and claustrophobic on that side. So it's just one step that way to take that photo. I know you're doing a candid kind of grab, but for me, it's good. It could be definitely better. Again, it's for me the distracting backgrounds, the depth of field, and when you're shooting candid, it's tricky because it has to be like a perfect harmony, which is often tricky when you're shooting with a 90. When you're shooting with a 90, that's like a punched in telephoto. You actually need to have, I would say, almost some sort of interaction. And if you don't have interaction, you really got to scan the background to make sure the background's not distracting. Let's go, Ezra. Well done. Thanks for submitting. Next time you submit, again, make sure you work on the 4,000 pixels wide. It'll make a big difference, and I'll really be able to check your focus. Ken Collier. My submission for the week, shot on my D3500 at 4.8, ISO 1000, ISO 100, my bad. Ever since I was 5 years old, I've had some type of motorcycle in my life. So this is my lifestyle picture. This is a picture of Ken, self-portrait, working on his motorcycle. OKKK, OKKK. Let's go. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Well done. Not sure why my smoke machine's not going, but we are going to give you the smoke. Thank you for becoming a member. Well done. Appreciate you. Ken, this is a dope picture. There's a little bit of motion blur. You can see there's a little bit of shake here. You see just a little bit of shake. And again, when you're doing a self-portrait, especially when you're looking down, the camera doesn't have eyes to grab onto. I really want the focus to be rock solid there. As far as the idea, the light, all very dope because you're aiming
Gifted
down.
member.
Yo, gaming saves lives with the gifted. I appreciate you. Let's go. Gaming saves lives. Just gifted 5 members. Thank you so much. Very, very, very generous of you. Very generous of you, man. Let's go. Appreciate you. Very, very nice. Very nice of you. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
New member.
Amazing. Amazing. Oh my God, amazing. You're so good, Ken. Thank you. Okay, let's get back into Gaming Save Lives. Thank you for that.
New member.
So now, let's get into the focus point. That's where I think that we're just missing. I really want these eyelids to be tack sharp. That's what I'm really hoping for, is to have these eyelids tack sharp. I think if we got a redo of this shot, because the exposure is good. I mean, this might be down like -1/3, but still it's more than acceptable. The depth of field going down on your face, like getting a little softer, is also acceptable if the eyes are tack focus. And also, because your light's coming from the top, you're giving yourself these raccoon eyes. With this head angle, you actually have to have your light coming in a little bit less from the top to give you just a little bit more detail in here and give the camera something to grab onto. That might be the reason that your camera isn't focusing. It's because it doesn't have something to actually grab onto. But again, I like it. It's a dope photo. I think it's super sick. The fact that it's a self-portrait, I like it. And it's very symmetrical, so it could work on 2 pages. Yeah, I would love to see other frames to see if one of them you nailed the focus, or if your head is up just a little bit more to let a little bit more light hit your eyes. Great job, Ken. Thanks for submitting. Amazing. All right, you guys want some more? You want some more? Let's get into another photograph. Let's get into another one. This is from a photographer named Chess Optics. Chess has, he said this is an upcoming artist. Met at a function in Brooklyn. He's a very hardworking, energetic entertainer. Shot with a Canon 6D Mark II using an 85-1.8, ISO 800. Shot at 1.8. Chess, you have to make sure that you're not shooting your lens that goes to 1.8 at 1.8. You're getting such shallow depth of field that you're often going to miss your focus. Don't shoot wide open. Shoot like a stop down from wide open. We haven't seen your picture yet, but 1.8 is just, it's really claustrophobically wide. And also there's a little bit of noise here, and the noise is coming from either you are JPEGing a JPEG, meaning you're shooting raw and then you're processing a JPEG, and then you're opening that JPEG and you're doing something to it and you're processing it and you're doing something like, you might be JPEGing a JPEG, because the data that I'm seeing in here, this is underexposure, or that's data loss. So I need to know what you're doing to your files in order to be losing this much quality, because there shouldn't be this much quality loss in your files. And for me, it becomes hard to like just judge this photo as a photo because of the data loss. It's composed well. You can see it's a cool cover, although this flag up here above his head, I think, is super distracting. You can imagine if this wasn't there, that it would actually be a little bit more of a clean background. This little bit of bokeh is fine, but the data loss is where I'm stressing. Like when I look down here and look in this corner and see what this looks like, that's data loss. That means that your histogram is not smooth. It's like full of spikes. This is all data loss. So again, I want to figure out what you're doing. Look at the hat, look at the details. Like there's no sharpness when you really look at this. So I want to know what you're doing so your photos don't look like this when we go large. Let me show you an example just of one of my earlier submissions. Stephen C, who submitted, and we go to his file and I blow up his file, and you look like this at his file, you don't see that data loss. You don't see that data loss in here in the shadows. You don't see that data loss in the blacks. You don't see that data loss anywhere. So I want to find out what you're doing so we can get that problem fixed, because when we zoom up this close on yours, unfortunately, this is what we're getting. So I want to make sure that we can get your files to the point that your files look like this instead of looking like this. Cool beans. I'd love to hear more about what you're doing on the back end, Chess. All right, let's get into another shooter. And yeah, you're shooting with good gear, a good lens. And if you're shooting at ISO 800, ISO 800 doesn't do that. So that's how you're processing, and that's what you're doing to the files. Are you shooting RAW? I shouldn't have to be asking. Are you shooting RAW? Are you shooting RAW? That's my next question. Christina B says, all hands on tuk tuk. My primary attraction is street photography. Learning to extend my dynamic range just far enough. Nikon Z8, 50 millimeter 1.4, 320 at 5.6, ISO 100. You're giving me several different readings for one photo. So, Christina B, I know you're watching. You say you use Nikon 50, but you prefer 24 to 120 for flexibility. Then you gave me a reading, and then you said Nikkor 24 to 120 f4 at 50 millimeter. Okay, so I'm imagining I would use the 50 instead of the 24 to 120 or whatever that lens is at 50. Use the 50. It's going to be 100 times sharper. In the 24 to 105 or the 24 to whatever that lens is, you have 28 pieces of glass in that lens. 28 pieces of glass. That lens is trying to be a 24, a 28, a 35, a 50, an 85, a 100, and a 135. And unfortunately, it's doing all of them poorly. So if you're usually shooting at 50 when you're doing street photography, go out with your 50. It's quieter, it's lighter, and it has 6 pieces of glass. It's going to make such a difference for your sharpness and also your depth of field, and also the lightness of just holding the camera with the 50 versus a zoom lens that you primarily shoot at one focal length. The photo is dope. I really like your contrast. Like, I do like the idea. I like what you captured. Like, this is really, really great. Really great. The depth of field, because you're shooting at a depth of field that's so infinite, we're getting the cars back here in the background. I like the depth of field that you're getting on this side with the palm trees and with the sky. I think it's just this side that's bothering me a little bit, but I love the way that you cropped this so it works so beautifully as a double page. Like, that's the double page. Cafe Tuk Tuk is very predominant, which works amazingly for me. This gets a definite high five. I like this photo a lot. Small little thing with the distracting cars in the background, but the contrast, the exposure, the detail, love. It's tack sharp. Yeah, it's tack sharp. I just think that it would be even more sharp if you used the 50. Do me a favor, practice with the 50 a little bit and submit a couple of shots with the 50. Just see what, because when you really start to look back here, with that 24 to 105, if you see how this is aberrating and how it starts to get weird in the background on the corners, that's where zoom lenses fail, is when you start looking at the corners, like what it does up here. Like that's, unfortunately, zoom lenses, once you start looking at what it does when it hits the corners, edges, like right in here is a bit of a weird edge, a bit of a weird thing happening in here at that focal point of the lens. And in fact, it's happening right through the middle of the lens at that point, because there's some weirdness happening here. And there's some weirdness happening back here. So, yeah, there's some weirdness happening in here. I don't think that that's you blurring the trees there. Anyways, look into it. Look into trying your 50 just a lot more, and let me know how that works out. As far as the photo, it is smoke. I love it. Great job. Great job. And OK says that the textures are so great. I completely agree. Christina B, well done, girl. All right, Rashad says, I missed the assignment, but I wanted to submit some work after the feedback you gave last time. I'm submitting one of my favorite headshots done for predominant exec in the Dallas area. Excited to hear my thoughts. Sony A7 III 70-200 GM at 85. F4, 200th of a second, ISO 100. Rashad said you'd be in Toronto in May. Look me up, my guy. All right, let's have a look at this. Have a few things to say. First of all, off the top of my head, this is a vertical picture that you've shot horizontally. There is nothing, unless you absolutely needed this to be horizontal and you were shooting this for web, there's really nothing important that's happening on this side of the frame or on this side of the frame. So if you think about our images and think about this photographed this way, where now it is a horizontal picture, now you see this as a cover of a magazine, right? And when you think about this is the most usable part of the photo, why are you shooting horizontal? Because now you're only using a third of your sensor. You're wasting this entire part of your sensor because the only important part is here. And then unfortunately also there's a lot of headspace. So I would want to have his head pushed up just about here. I would shoot vertical. Turn your camera this way. So you're using the whole sensor. And then now we're starting to get into a photo. If this photo had to be horizontal, then you offset it. If it has to be horizontal, now you crop this in such a way that it's like this, where it's like, hey, now the article about this person is written here, and it works in a magazine. Because when it's in a magazine now, or in an annual report, or in a brochure, all the ways that these corporate executives use these photos, that's the crop. And you're close up and you feel like you know him. This is the crop if you ever have to do a horizontal headshot. But most headshots are vertical. Most windows for photos to be are either vertical or squares. So I hope this helps, Rashad, because you definitely, like, the quality is there. Looking at his skin is great. The light is definitely competent. Like, you did like a good job on the light, although again, it's conservative, but it's well done. The retouching, the exposure, the fact that, again, I want you to really watch the focus, because when we really, really punch in on the eyes, you can see that it's not his eyeballs that are in focus. It's actually the edge of this frame that's the most in focus. And where we're trying to focus is right here between the white and the color of the eye. That's where we're looking. And if we look between the white and the color of his eye, if I put this back at 100%, you'll see that his frame is actually in focus. The frame is in focus, but his eyeballs actually aren't. His nose is in focus, his mouth is in focus, his beard is in focus, but his eyeballs actually aren't, which is where you want the person to look first. So, all of that being said, it is a really, really good attempt. I want you to watch the eye line. I want you to watch the eye line. Like, don't lower the shot too low, and make sure you're knowing whether. Make sure you're knowing. No, I don't think the thick glasses. You can still focus on eyeballs. You still can. Just use a little bit more depth of field. I really think that there may be some horizontals in this, and the next time you shoot headshots, just inch them over a little bit. The last thing is called banding. And banding happens when you don't process in 16-bit. Now, the banding here is minimal, but I want you to look at the concentric circles that you see happening in the transition as it transitions through. Like, as I'm zooming this up, if you're looking at it on a high quality monitor, you'll see banding. As I'm scrolling this here, you'll see tone. You'll see these, like, you'll actually see tone difference here. This is called banding. And banding happens when you process at 8-bit instead of 16-bit. This is begging to be processed at 16-bit. Now that you're looking at it like this, you'll see there's banding that's happening going around him concentrically on this side as well. And when you look at that file at home, you'll see the banding. When you process your files, you process in 16-bit. In Lightroom, make sure it's 16-bit and not 8-bit. And then the photo will open and you save it as a TIFF in 16-bit. Then when you want to make JPEGs, convert it to 8-bit, make the JPEG, and then close it without saving it as 8-bit. So you're saving a 16-bit file as your high res. It makes your file twice as large and gives you twice as much data, and it also stops the banding. Jessica said that she had no idea about the banding. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. I'm going to be processing some of my studio shots that I did recently. I'm not going to do it today because we're doing photo reviews, but I'll show you, and I'll show you the difference between a gray background with a gradient at 16-bit versus a gray background with a gradient at 8-bit, which looks like this: chunk, 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 chunk. And the 16-bit is it's the difference between 256 colors and like 256 million colors. Like, that's the difference. Like, it's not just twice as much colors. It's actually 10 times as much colors if you go to 16-bit from 8-bit. Little 2 cents for you. I hope that helps you. Great job, Rashad. Let's go. Rashad, we got to give you the smoke, because again, it's a great effort. It's a great effort. It's a great effort. A really natural smile. Suit looks great. Coat looks great. The retouching is great. The exposure is great. There's a couple things on the framing, and I'll have you as a gosh darn monster. Well done. Well done. All right, let's look at who's next. Slippy Hollow. Here's my submission after many lifestyle tries. Shot on the A7R3 55mm ISO 100. Thought it counted as a lifestyle portrait, as we could sell the earring, the makeup, or the headset, meaning the headphones. This is Slippy Hollow. Let's have a look at this photo from Slippy. This is great. This is definitely, my request was I wanted some lifestyle photography. Definitely, I'm feeling this. I appreciate it. The first thing that I see is the color balance. This here is gray, and it feels like it's reading blue. Also up here is reading blue, and then that makes her skin tone read just a little bit blue, and the shadow, like the highlights, I mean, not the shadow, the highlight areas read just a little bit blue as well. So
Gifted member.
Yo, calligraphy with another gifted, you savage. Calligraphy gifts a membership every single episode. Calligraphy,
New member.
you can stop doing that anytime. Like, honestly, you're making me, wow, somebody just got gifted. Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Let's get back to Slippy. So I like the fact that you have headphones. The headphones, the JBL logo, the jacket, the necklace. I mean, you can't sell the purse because we can't really see it, but I like it. The eye tracking. This is something when I think that you've heard me mention that the eyes always have to track the nose. And here's an example. Like right now, my eyes are tracking my nose. Oh my God. Stephen C with the 5 gifteds. Oh my God. Stephen C, you're going. Look at these numbers up
New
here
member.
increasing. Look at 228. Oh my God, Stephen. Thank you. Calligraphy. Thank you. Oh my God, you
New
crazy
member.
people. Gaming saves lives. Thank you. Everybody who's been gifting, man. You guys are crazy. So back to eye tracking.
New member.
If my eyes are looking this way, my nose is tracking my face, my eyes are centered. If now I look this way, my eyes are tracking center. But look at what it looks
New
like
member.
as soon as I look in that way or that way. As soon as I look too much that way, you see too much of the white goo in my eyes. As soon as I look too much of that way,
New member.
you see too much of the white goo in my eyes. So when we're on camera or when we're shooting people and we have them looking that way, looking this
Gifted
way,
member.
looking this way. Turtle drones with the gifted. You crazy turtle. Thank you. Let's go, my guys. Appreciate you all putting up your hard-earned cash,
New member.
giving members to other people. It's amazing. Thank you. So, thank you. Imagine this. If we're looking this way and our eyes are there, you see that white. Or we're looking this way and our eyes are here, you see that white, or over there. What I tell my subjects is always track your eyes where your nose is. And your photo, you can see because her nose is tracking in one direction, but her eye is tracking further back. And because of that, we just see one sliver of her pupil and we see all of this eye goo, which is not sexy. And also because she has fake lashes that are actually like caterpillars, they're a little bit too long, it makes it even harder to see her eyes. So I like the head angle, but it's almost like I need her eyes to come further back this way because we're losing them. And it actually, at first glance, she has no eyeballs at all. So that's something like a quick thing that we have to watch. The next thing is everything else I love. Everything else I love, except for color balance. The first thing that I said was color. Just make sure that you're nailing the color balance and finding something in your shot that's black, white, or gray that you can color balance off of. In this case, I would have color balanced off of her sweater. I would have just pulled the color from here, or I would have pulled the color off the wall. And that would have just snapped up the picture and made it feel more warm, because her skin having like a blue tint, it's just feels a little icy. But again, like the orange, this styling, the sweater, the head wrap, the headphones, the earrings, like everything is there. It's just where the eye's tracking. And also when you're shooting people who have fake lashes, it like the longer they are, the more exaggerated it looks in your photo. Like natural lashes look like fake lashes in photos, but fake lashes look like caterpillars in photos. It's my own bias, but there's nothing that I hate more on this earth than fake eyelashes on girls. I think it's absolutely stupid. And it's actually getting ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. So again, that's just my own bias from a guy's perspective. When a girl is like, literally, she has like caterpillars on her eyes, or her eyes look like this, and she can't even open them because her fake lashes are so heavy. It just looks ridiculous. That, and in people who inject their lips. Whew, my two favorite things. Anyways, let's get into how to improve Slippy, color balance, and another edit, because I think that you have another edit that has a different head angle shot. I'm sure you didn't put her here and shoot one frame. I'm sure you shot lots of frames. So just give me another edit. Just give me a bit of a different edit and resubmit that one. I would love to see a different edit on this photo, because you have all the elements. All the elements are there. There's just her eye angle. Just her eye angle. That's one thing. So again, I would love to see an alternative to that. Hey, Tempo, wanna come say hi? Come here. Come say hi. Come here. Come say hi. I have a dog here. Come say hi. You wanna come up? Yeah, he's shy. You can see his tail wagging, but he's pretty shy. Hey, up here. Hey, buddy. You being good? He's being good. Okay, go. You want to stay now? Okay, he wants to hang out here now. No. All right, he wants to stay out here. Thank you, Slippy, for submitting. Applying. Oh my God, I'm drunk. Thank you for applying. Tempo, you got me twisted right now. All right. Let's get into Greg S. My wife and I went to a ball last week and took this shot of our friends. Nikon D810 50mm 5.6 with off-camera flash. The lifestyle of the retired folk, having a ball. This is Greg S. from the Discord. Greg, as the on-camera flash shots go, this is pretty good. I appreciate the submission. I'm going to check your settings again because, or maybe you didn't give me this setting. No, you didn't give me your aperture and shutter speed, because I want you to notice that you have this gentleman absolutely tack sharp. You have him tack sharp, but his lovely lady is out of focus because she's behind him. His focal plane is here. Her focal plane is back here. And that distance, even if it's only 6 inches, that distance is enough to make it, especially if you're shooting a wide aperture, like less than f4, you're going to deal with these issues with his one person sharp and one person not sharp. Also, having the flash at camera position, you're seeing that we have red eye on his eyes, although it's black and white, so we actually aren't seeing the red eye, but you can see the red eye. Like I can see the red eye here and the red eye here, and that's based on the flash being at the same plane as the lens. And the flash goes and the reflection comes right back into the camera, and that reflection is the red backside of our retina. That is what red eye is. It's showing inside the back of our eye, and a flash is bright enough to illuminate inside our eye hole. So we're having red eye, and that's because the flash is at the same, you're using a pop-up flash. You have to have the flash off camera. Even if you have a trigger and hold the flash in your hand, like above, to separate the lens from the camera, you're gonna get a little bit more modeling in the face and have the light look less passport photo-ish. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, we have this very hard shadow here, this very hard shadow here. This is like that on-camera flash kind of look. You're restricted when you're out and making these kinds of photos. If you had a remote trigger and had like, or even an LED light and just held it above your head to be able to control, again, would be great. But try a Gary Fong, which is what I would try, is a Gary Fong, which is a bit of a modifier that you put on the flash, and that like illuminates the room a little bit more and gives you a little bit more fashion light from an on-camera flash. That's another, I think I have a Gary Fong in here. One second. Here's a Gary Fong. Yeah, one of these. You just put it on the flash, and this thing reflects the flash that goes in here, and it pushes it out in every direction. And it's actually quite flattering. There's lots of different ways that you can use a Gary Fong, but if you don't have a modifier on your flash, you end up getting really hard light and hard shadows, and it just has that, it has just a little bit of an amateur feeling when it comes to photography. So get a Gary Fong. All right, you can have mine. You can have mine. I never use it. All right. I never use on-camera flash ever. Greg S., great job. Thank you so much for submitting. That is photography from Greg S. Make sure that if you're shooting, you're using 5.6 to give you both of these people tack sharp, because mom is a little soft. That's only an aperture thing. Good job, though. Thank you so much, Greg S., for submitting. Pazia says, this is my lifestyle submission. My name's Marilyn, owner of Pazia. I recently became a member of this amazing community. Thankful to be here. It's my first submission. I'm a little hesitant, nervous at the same time, excited to get feedback on my work. So this is a great connection with this. Okay, sorry, this is a novel. I can't read all of this, unfortunately. So shot Fujifilm X-T3 50mm ISO 200, shot at a 2/50th of a second at f8. All right. First photograph from Pazia, also known as Marilyn. Lifestyle submission. Marilyn, this is amazing. Really, really strong. This is a magazine photograph. It's magazine quality. The light, the exposure, the background, his outfit, all the way down to his boots, where I'm reading the label on his boots. I'm reading the fact that he's wearing Dickies overalls. I'm seeing this, which I don't know if that's rhubarb, but he personifies this character. I don't know if this is a character. I don't know if this is really him, but what I can tell you is that this is absolutely incredible. This is absolutely incredible. You were worried about submitting. Who knew you were so good? This is a fantastic, fantastic,
Welcome.
fantastic lifestyle photo. Welcome, Lampros. I appreciate you for becoming a subscriber. This is so good, Marilyn. Like, honestly, this is so, so good. The background, the scene that you've created here, the movement of him like leaning into camera, everything, his head angle, the deliberate look at camera, like everything here is just yes, 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 yes. The only thing that I want now is more work from you. That's the only thing I want now is more work from you, because you've proven that you can do it. You are honestly a very, very good photographer. I just want to see more work. Show me more. Congratulations on becoming a member. You can see membership has its privileges. Well done, Marilyn. Wow, I like when we get new people up in the Discord. Let's go. All right. Benson. Benson said, Merry Christmas. Honestly, I had a few problems because I found it hard to define what lifestyle photography is. But I love to look at my son's face here, patiently waiting to open his present. It reminds me of my childhood. 50 millimeter 1.8 shot at 200th of a second at ISO 500. Benson, let's go, Benson. Let's look at your definition of a lifestyle photo, which is regular people doing regular things photographed in a stylized way. Well done, Benson. Let's get in here. There's a good grain. You know, it's a very delicate, real moment of your boy. Like, I feel it, you know, like I feel that anticipation. I also really appreciate the way that he's isolated and hidden behind this shoulder. I love seeing Power Kids, the logo. I mean, although it's a little close to the edge, still, that Power Kids logo is our product. This is our product, this right here. So it becomes what are we selling? What we're selling is this jumper and the wonder in this kid's face. And I love it. And like, I want to know what he's looking at, and I don't know what he's looking at, but the branding that stays with me is Power Kids, which is right there. So you win. This is a great lifestyle photograph. A great lifestyle photograph. I love the black and white. I love you know, a little bit of the dirty face. I love the real honest moment, and I love the framing. He's a little claustrophobically close here. You can see how close he is to the edge. You have to understand, when you go to an 8x10, or when you go to a 9, like whenever you print, they have to overprint in order to get it full bleed on the paper. So when you're doing like claustrophobic crops like this, I would want this cut to be here. I would want like there to be that much distance, because when this goes to print, we're losing all of that. And the cut goes like that. If it goes in a magazine, it's cutting his ear, and it's also cutting the back of his head. So you can see that that is kind of claustrophobic. So watch your edges. You can see also, if you look at his eye line, you can see he's offset. You could have stepped this way just a touch without losing that hint, and center him just a little bit more. Again, this is now, I'm taking an 11 and I'm trying to turn it into a 12. Very, very small corrections, but yeah. Or Turtle says you could just pull back just a smidge. Small things. But again, this is a fantastic photo. You should be very pleased. Very pleased. Well done. Let's go. I love when new people submit. Benson. Sebastian K. Hello, beautiful people. This is my submission for the latest assignment. You can find Mark in this photo, my girlfriend's son. This is Sebastian K's lifestyle photo. Sebastian, I definitely am feeling this photo. I'm definitely feeling the idea, although I know what your other photography looks like. I feel like with this particular photo, I'd love you to take a step this way in order to bring this tree this way and like block out what's happening in this background, like this dog walker walking the dog, the cigarette butt here, the cigarette butt under there. It would give us just a little bit more of the front of this litter box. Unfortunately, it looks a little placed. It looks a little placed, meaning he's waiting. It's very like, I don't know how to say it, like stylized, posed. Although how he's looking, like it's hard because when you go, like I think about your surfing photography and I think about that's lifestyle photography. You're trying to, just the act of him putting something in the garbage, that's not really lifestyle photography. We're not selling anything here except for this kid being able to follow your instructions. You know what I mean? So think about the surfer holding the surfboard really close to his face, and just that session and how the product is the surfboard, the lifestyle is you're shooting a person who surfs wearing the stuff and you're shooting it on a beach. Like that's the perfect storm of lifestyle photography. For me, this one, it's like the kid with the hot chocolate cup. It's like, I want to see him interacting with the hot chocolate, have him like a close-up shot of him where he's now like blowing the hot chocolate, or something that's a little bit more like featuring him with that cup. I think that him putting it in the garbage, now that opens up the background, and it opens up the background is actually kind of busy because it's right on his headline that we're looking at. Like his head is right here. Everything that's important, the cup, his hand, his head expression is on the same line as this dog, which just instantly makes, like, it instantly for me kind of like makes now everything that's happening over here suddenly have to disappear. So then it becomes like, is this the right spot to execute this idea? And then is this idea really an idea that says lifestyle? Your girl having a coffee and him having a hot chocolate, sitting on a bench having a moment, that's a lifestyle picture. You know what I mean? So I think that there was a lifestyle photo there. I just think that this particular action kind of missed it. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Just give you like the methodology behind like the lifestyle photo. It's tricky, but it should feel like this. It should feel like, man, this is hard. This is really hard to shoot a lifestyle product. Lifestyle is regular people doing regular things, photographed in a cool way, usually featuring a product of some sort. There's got to be something that you can buy from that photo. Is it the car? Is it the coffee? Is it the outfit, the apparel, the newspaper, the magazine? Like, what's for sale in this photo? That's the thing that you have to ask yourself when you're doing those photos. And then again, when we're looking at this photo and you ask yourself what's for sale, it's not his clothing. It's not, because it's not featured enough, and it's not the coffee cup that he's throwing away. So because there's nothing that's really the featured thing or idea, and it's a little distracting, I think that we missed it a little bit with that one, Sebastian. But again, like, you're so good. Like, I know how good you are. I've seen your photography. I just know that like certain requests, certain ideas, you have to dig deeper. You have to, because like without like fully formulating what the idea is, shooting it becomes really difficult. Like, what's the idea? And then executing it becomes like piece of cake. You know what I mean? But it's all idea first. Idea first. You did a great job though, my guy. Again, just next time, I think I think I'm going to challenge you to shoot that again. All right, Tony. This is my weekly assignment, a lifestyle photo of my girlfriend as a drone pilot. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe it could inspire Josh for his Web 2.0 project. I used the Sony a6600 with a Sigma 18 to 50 2.8, shot at ISO 100, 4.5, 400th of a second. Hope you have a great day. This is Tony's lifestyle photo. Tony, this is the definition of a lifestyle photo. This is it exactly. This is the cover of Behind the Picture magazine. This is the cover of Drone Weekly. You absolutely, utterly knocked this out of the park. Regular people doing regular things, photographed in a cool, stylized way. What's the product? That drone. And also, where that drone brings you, like the location is so much. Yo, Oki giving his hard-earned money. Oki, thank you. All the best to you for 2024, my friend. Thank you so much for the €4.99. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oki, another one of my super generous supporters, man. Like, you guys are tripping me out today. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the generosity. Wow. Wow. Tony, you nailed this. This is so good. This is on, like, my only thing is there a way to bring up more detail, like to make the sky a little less hazy?
Super chat.
Let's go. Okay. Is there a way to make the sky a little less hazy? Look at her eye line. Look at the light on her face. I mean, it's all very, very, very well done. There's a little bit of exposure. Like, yes, it's a bit hot in her chest. It's a little bit hot on that shirt. It's a little bit hot on her face. All things that you can fix with the highlight slider. This photo, look at it as a horizontal, just cropped like that as a double page spread. It works, you know, like having the remote, seeing the remote in her hands, seeing her focus the eye line on the drone, her outfit, the tent in the background. Like, I don't know if you noticed the tent in the background or this teepee. These rocks, the way that she's on the path, like this photo is very deliberate and it's executed at the highest level. It's executed at the highest level. And again, Tony, I'm giving you the smoke. Lean in, because you do lifestyle well. Lean in on the lifestyle. This will make you $100,000 a year. Lean in. You do this well. This is kind of what I was asking for. This is a lifestyle photo. I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense now. Like, again, it's not the model, it's not the drone, it's not the location. It's the model, the drone, and the location, and the way that they work together. This is a thought out photo, well executed. You can't fail if you do a thought out photo, well executed. And you take it to a place that like you did here. You took it to the right spot. Yo, Visual OD back for 3 months. I appreciate you, my guy. Let's go. Welcome back.
New member.
Welcome back. Norman Brown back for 2 months. Let's go, Norman. Welcome back. Let's go. All right. That was photograph
New
from
member.
Tony. Let's go. Isaiah. Welcome back for 2 months. Joseph says, for my lifestyle submission, wow, we got lots of photos we're rocking through here. For my lifestyle submission, I had the opportunity to spare special moments with people and their loved ones. No, I hope everyone had their here's one of my special moments. We love to hike as a family. So being Canadian, there's snow in Northern Ontario. I captured this special moment when my daughter stopped to enjoy the lookout with her loyal standing guard. I put the focus on him and subtly blurred my daughter. I wanted the emphasis to be on her. I love to shoot in black and white, and I think the shot turned out well. I like the gentle highlights around my daughter that the sun created. shot with the Nikon D4 and the 24-70 at 62 millimeter, 1/4000th of a second at f2.8. All right, let's have a look at this photo from Joseph Michael. Let's go, Joseph. Really, really, really gorgeous. Gorgeous photo. Gorgeous. Let's look at this dog, which is the main focus of the picture. And a little bit of a slight softness on your daughter. I feel like because your daughter and your dog are just right on top of each other, even the 2.8 isn't really doing it. Unfortunately, with zoom lenses, when you shoot them wide open, you really do start to get some weirdness happening with the lens. Like you can see you get certain sharpness, but then you get other stuff that kind of blurs a little bit weird in here. So be wary of shooting wide angle, or the 24-70, the 28-80, like these wide angles zoom lenses. Again, there's so much glass in them, and they're just at times not the sharpest. I just want everybody to shoot with primes because it's the best quality. For me, this is an 11. I love this a lot. I think this is a fantastic photo. You would have achieved a little bit more depth of field if the dog and the your daughter were a little bit off of each other, but the fact that your dog is like guarding your daughter makes this photo like even more special. So I'm really liking this. I think it's a win. It's absolutely an 11. I do see this little hazy that's happening around here, the detail in the sky. Yeah, it's great. The horizon line, there's nothing like cutting through her body. You like, yeah, this is really good. I'm really happy with this photo. You did a great job. Great job. Wow. You guys submitted lots of photos today. Lots of photos today. All right, let's see who else we have here. Who else do we have? Black Phoenix. Yo, Durrell with the gifteds. You guys are going crazy today with the gifted memberships. What are we at, like 25 now? My goodness, man. You guys are going ham. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. That's insane. Like literally, like we're at like 25 gifted memberships today. We're at 243. We're about to hit 250.
New member.
Insane. All right, Black Phoenix. My kid's an avid manga enthusiast, so even creating his own.
New member.
I'm not sure what manga is. But you spend hundreds on art supplies and books. How can you deny his creativity? Shot at Books A Million, my favorite store with the Nikon Z6, Mark II, and the 50mm lens. ISO 8000, f2, shot at 1600. I'm thinking the 35 might be my main lens for the coming year, though. I'm noticing your settings. You're shooting at ISO 8000 at f2. You could definitely afford to half that ISO. You could for sure afford to half that ISO and then like increase the and also shooting at 1600th of a second. You can go all the way down to a 50th of a second. So you're shooting way high ISO, way high shutter speed, like almost too high. Everything can come down like by a lot. Like by stops, because you're going to lose detail in the noise when you go that far. Okay, let's have a look here. Yeah, I love the vibe. I feel like you're losing quality, Black Phoenix, in going so high with the ISO. You can still achieve this feeling. And again, it's anime. That's exactly what I thought it was. Yeah, and again, this is a great lifestyle shot. It's great. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. The only thing is just technically you can be lowering the ISO. Because if I go to your settings, I see your settings are, let's start at the top. ISO 8000 at f2 at 1600. So let's do the math. 1/8000th of a second, 1/1600th, and what's the other thing? Shutter 1600th, f2, right? F2, that's it. So, and then at f2. So watch, you convert. Oh no, it's ISO 1600. Sorry, my bad. So this is ISO 1600. So ISO 1600, you drop that to 800. That makes 8000, 4000. Okay. 800, you now drop to 400. That makes 4000, 2000. ISO 1600, you drop to 200. That makes makes 4,000th of a second, now 1,000th of a second. You've just gone from ISO 1600 to ISO 200, and you're shooting at 1,000th of a second at f2. So it's pretty easy to see that, like, you're going crazy with the ISO, and also you can go even further. You can go down to ISO 100, which brings this to 500, and you're still shooting at 500th of a second at f2, and you're getting now ISO 100 in this scene, and you're shooting it at 1600. So imagine this is 1, 2, 3, 4, like it's like 4 stops that you're losing. So I think you can actually like start getting better if you think lowest ISO. Start at 100, go to 200, go to 400. Like start low and then move the ISO up as you need. You're starting way high, too high. My camera doesn't go, my camera goes to ISO 120,000. I don't set my camera higher than 1600. 1600. Like literally, probably what's more likely is I don't go higher than 800, which is more likely. But yeah, try to keep that in mind when you're shooting, Phoenix, and you're gonna see your quality go way up. Last thing with your shot is there's a bit too much floor space down here. I feel like these books could end here and you still have plenty of space, but it's getting a little claustrophobic up at the top here. So I would want to move him a little bit lower and show a little bit more top room. You know what I mean? Looking at it this way, you can see, if it's an 8x10, you're going to crop here anyways as an 8x10, which is fine. But if I was to shoot this again, I would want him to be a little bit lower in the frame. But again, everything else, the composition is on point. I see exactly what you're doing. And again, you're so close. You are one of my pet projects. You all are. Black Phoenix, I don't want you to get frustrated because I know, like, you put a lot of effort into your pictures. But thank you for submitting, and you're like on the cusp. You wait till your next session. It's going to snap. All right, that's Black Phoenix. Let's get into Anna613. This is my lifestyle submission. This is an amateur theater production. Reached out to one of the actresses and invited her to participate in a photo session, portraying her character within the charming setting of a small Italian pastry shop. Here's my favorite image from the session. This is an actress. This is a lifestyle photo from Anna. Anna, this is great. Off the cuff, my initial reaction is this is really strong. This is strong. It's definitely an elegant photo. I'm noticing that there's a little bit of camera shake. If we get right into the eyes, you can see that it's not quite tack sharp. It's like acceptably sharp. The exposure is good, but you can see there's just a little bit of like, I'm feeling like the shutter speed on this was like a 15th or like a 30th of a second. So that's where the out of focus is coming, I think, is from the shutter speed. It's such a lovely picture. Like, we're so close. I just want to make sure when you're choosing your absolute favorite, make sure you're choosing a favorite that is in focus, because there is no such thing as a favorite photo that's soft. You know, it's like, especially if we're trying to get hired, it's the one thing that's an assumed thing from pro photography, that the stuff's going to be tack sharp. So we have to make sure that our shit's tack sharp. Other than this, everything else is pretty cool. I mean, the speaker, unfortunately, this speaker is distracting, like right above her head. I'm wondering what it would have been like if you rotated this way just a little bit and hit her from that angle and like cropped that speaker out. Is there something distracting that way? The window here is also quite bright. So because that's bright, our eye goes here in this area first before we go to her face. And then unfortunately we go here to the next distraction, which is this block of black behind her. And we see, unfortunately, we're going to see the window first because it's the brightest. Then we're going to see this because it's the darkest. Then we're going to see her. Then unfortunately, we're going to see this circle behind and that geographic shape. And we're going to notice that the blue is kind of growing through her head. We're going to see all of that before we notice the chair, the table, the cafe, what she's eating, the book, and this reflection. So I feel like with this particular picture, one step this way, shooting this way, now cuts out the window and cuts out this, and then reveals more of the restaurant while still maintaining the light. It's small, but again, you're in my mentorship program, Anna. I know what your skills are. I know what you're capable of, and I know how talented you are as a shooter. There may be another photo here, but what I'm interested in is seeing some photos without the window and without this black box behind her. Show me another edit. As far as the idea, as far as the elegance, as far as the cafe and the little pastry and the book and the mirrored surface, like all the elements are there. Just where you're standing isn't exactly right. And then shooting interiors like this without a tripod. I also know you didn't use a tripod. So tripod, once you're using a tripod, you see how this line is longer here, and then this line is crooked and it's not straight as this. And then you see this little grate, like those small details. And then the line that's going through her head here. When you're using a tripod, you take a frame and you look at it. And then you can adjust the camera, move the camera, take another frame and look at it. When you're free shooting, you're focused only on this. You're focused only on this, but you're not thinking about anything that's happening around her because you're focused just on connecting with the subject. When you shoot with a tripod, and I shoot with a tripod when I'm doing an interior. When I'm doing an interior, a portrait inside, usually the shutter speed is going to be slow. So you need that tripod to make sure that your shot's stable. But then the second reason is to make sure that your lines are straight and you're in the right spot in the room. And that rarely happens when you're just like free shooting. One shot's here, one shot's here, one shot's here, one shot's here, one shot's here. Like when you're freeballing it, when you're shooting in an interior, your lines are straight, your lines aren't straight, they're blah, blah, blah. There's something growing out of the head. Like that's what happens because as soon as you start shooting, you forget everything and just focus on relating to the person. So before I start, tripod, scan the frame and make sure that you don't see the stuff that I just picked up in that photo. Anna, you got this. I know your skills. You're a super talented photographer. I think I want to see a different edit from this picture. I hope that helps. All right, let's get into Devlin. Devlin said, I tried to plan some other photos to make, but they didn't work out. So this is what I made for a lifestyle photo for now. This is Devlin. Devlin, I definitely see the idea here. It's definitely a fun moment, father and daughter. What you're selling, I'm imagining, is these Ray-Bans, because that's really the only product that you could sell. Unfortunately, it's a snapshot that you're trying to make fit into a lifestyle photo. This unfortunately is relevant mostly to you and the person in the photo. But for us, the observer, who is looking at this as like a portfolio photo, there's too much distraction. There's a guy right here behind, there's another guy up here, and there's two people sitting over here and a table. So it's not also exposure. The exposure here is, I would say, minus 2/3 of a stop. The exposure on his skin is dark. The exposure on her skin is dark. We're losing the detail on the inside of the sun, on the sunglasses. You can see it feels like muddy. So because of that, it's like, I know, Devlin, that you're a good shooter. I know that you have great ideas and great skills with your camera. Like all things, especially lifestyle photography that's so specific, you can't mail it in, or you can't try to make something fit into that thing if it doesn't fit. It just doesn't work. I see the moment and I appreciate the moment, and it's a cute moment between a father and daughter, but that doesn't make it a lifestyle photo. It makes it a cute moment that's mostly relevant to you. But as far as a moment in your portfolio that's going to sell you as someone who can sell moments that are going to sell Ray-Ban sunglasses, it's not really it. So again, these assignments are for you because you're trying to be a professional photographer. The more serious you take the assignments, the more you actually think, what is a lifestyle photo? Open a magazine, find lifestyle photos as references. I showed you Jeff Lipsky. I showed you all these photographers that just master lifestyle photography. You saw Tony, one of my viewer, girl with a drone, flying the drone, beautiful location, boom, instant lifestyle photo, check, right? This is a snapshot. This, unfortunately, it doesn't have that same weight, and I need you to get into that era with that weight, because if not, there's going to be heavy hitters that are going to steamroll right over you, my friend. So that is Devin. I want more, Devin. I want you to try harder on the next one, my guy. And I know that you said for now, which means that there is something else that's coming. So let's see what that is. Durrell says, it was the day before Christmas and everyone was about. Damp, chilly day. I caught these two people sharing a hot meat pie. I love the woman's anticipation as she intensely watched her partner cool the first bite. Shot with the R6 Sigma 18-35 art lens, 1/500th of a second, 1.8 at ISO 100. Durrell, I'm very worried about the 1.8 on a lens that goes to 1.8. I've said today a couple of times, don't shoot wide open just because your lens can. Don't shoot wide open just because your lens can. You're going to deal with one eye in focus, one eye out of focus. You're going to be dealing with group shots where this person's in focus, one person like this much behind them, out of focus completely. You're going to deal with eyes in focus, noses out of focus, mouths out of focus, ears. Like, wide open is too wide. It's too wide, and you have too shallow a depth of field. I feel like I'm saying this every episode now to somebody. Don't shoot wide open. It's doesn't always work. In this instance, the depth of field that's happening with her, it's an example. You can see he's not quite in focus, and she's not quite in focus either. And that happens again because the narrow, like the level of focus that you have when you shoot wide open, this is in focus, this is out of focus, this is in focus, this is out of focus. So you have that narrow window, and you're shooting people who are doing this. They're moving around like this. and you're trying to get a perfect in focus picture when like they're fluid. You know what I mean? So shooting wide open, you're just asking for out of focus photos. You're just asking for it. And I'm looking, I saw your readings. I'm looking at the photo. I already knew the photo was going to be out of focus, and I'm looking and the photo's out of focus. So because of that, it's like now, like there's, his face is kind of in focus, but it's not. And she's kind of in focus, but she's not. Do you see what I mean? So the only thing that's kind of in focus is the dish. So like the anticipation and the moment and everything that you're trying to catch, I definitely feel it. It's a very busy photo though. Like there's lots, I understand the relation between these two people, but there's so much other stuff happening within this photo. Again, this doesn't qualify as a lifestyle photo. This is a snapshot. This is two people eating at a outdoor market. It's not, there's no idea. This is you going out, walking, seeing something, taking a photo, and calling it a lifestyle picture. You need to create the photo. You need to come up with an idea and execute the idea. Or you need to go to a place where you can isolate one subject and get a lifestyle photo. This is like a group, there's too many things happening for me to be isolating in on these. Like, yes, I can isolate in on these two people, but there's nothing for sale. Like I don't know what this dish is. So it's not McDonald's bag. So I know, it's not a Nike shoe. There's no Nike swoosh here or something that there's nothing to sell. It's just two people having a moment that you captured. So again, taking pictures. I'm trying to get you to make pictures. This is taking pictures, Durrell. So it's hard for you to go out and take pictures and then also nail the perfect portfolio level lifestyle photo. I know you're a great shooter. I know you have it in you. I know you can do it, but trying to do it this way is not the way that it's going to happen. You can't just go out and grab a lifestyle photo. It's not going to happen. Or you're going to be out there for days and days and days trying to get a photo that if you just came up with an idea and executed it, you could shoot it with your wife. You know what I mean? So for me, this doesn't qualify as a lifestyle photo, Durrell. All right, next. Who do we got here? This is Matthew Sargent. So submission, Dulu Bib Baby. So this is a baby that I had looked. This is the day that she's turned 5 months old. And then the very first photos that I looked at were this baby on their born day. So, again, very insane eyes on this child. Look at the eyes on this baby. Very, very, very beautiful, beautiful eyes. And yes, I do see the Dulo tag down here, but this is not a lifestyle photo. This is you in the back of the car with somebody here and somebody here, and the baby on the lap or on a couch or something like this, and and I definitely see the little rainbow prism that you're putting in there, but it doesn't exactly qualify as a lifestyle picture. It's not really a lifestyle picture. It's just a snapshot of this baby. So again, shooting a baby for your lifestyle execution, it's just like, it's impossible. You can't get the baby to do anything for you. There's no, okay, now hold this, and okay, now point. Like, you can't direct a baby. You know what I mean? So trying to do, this is again very much like Durrell was trying to do, which is fit a photo into something. And you're doing it now, Matthew, just because it has a tag here that shows me a brand. Doesn't make this a lifestyle photo, unfortunately. Again, this is taking a photo. This was a scenario. Maybe you put the prism in and styled it a little bit, but still it's taking a photo of something that's existing already, not making a photo. And shooting lifestyle with a baby, it's impossible. You need adults or youth or skaters or something. It has to be more than this. I think I understand the relationship. I understand the love and all that stuff. It's just this is more relevant to you than it is to somebody who would be looking at your portfolio. They're just going to see it as a baby picture. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, even as a baby picture, it's not isolated. It's not just the baby shot on the background, studio light, like, you know, which isn't even the type of photography that you're trying to do. So you introducing a baby, it not being your niche or your wheelhouse, I don't really get it. So for me, this one's a bit of a miss, Matthew. Although it's an amazing photo of this child, it's just, it doesn't qualify as a lifestyle picture for me. And I hope the explanation, I hope that helps, and I hope you understand, I do understand why. All right, let's look at another. Romeo. Here's a lifestyle of one of my oldest two daughters. She came home from Christmas. She's a college student at FIU in Florida. We spent some time at the gym. She loves working out, so I shot this picture of her doing lat pull downs. This is definitely close. This is definitely close. This is a regular person doing a regular thing shot in a stylized way. And what you're selling is the lifestyle. What you're selling is the gym. What you're selling is the hard thing is when you're doing these type of gym photos, it's like, how interesting is the gym? How good looking is the gym? How distracting is the gym? Your angle, like the angle that you're aiming up at her, is not the most flattering. If you're going to photograph her working out, you really have to shoot it the way that you would do any other shoot, meaning where are you standing? What's behind? What's distracting? Because for me, there's TVs growing out of her head. There's this purple bar that's like aiming right at her. This is not legible, so it's distracting. There's a lot of items that are distracting in here, although they're all like the same color tone-ish, like the black, gray, or purple. Because of that, that's when you have to get creative and say, okay, I know you're working out right here. And instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to take a picture of you right there doing what you're doing and call that a lifestyle photo, you push it further. You have her on a yoga mat, you put her on a non-distracting background, and you follow all the same rules that you hear me talk about before, where it's like, isolate the subject, scan the background, make sure it's not busy. Because for me, although we know this is a gym shot, it's busy. It's too busy. And because you just shot her where she was doing what she's doing, and you just were where you were doing what you're doing, and you just framed up picture, and then that's your lifestyle photo. That's not it either. You know what I mean? It's close. At least you're in the right location. You're in the right location. You're with the right person, and she's doing the right thing, dressed in the right outfit. But you didn't execute it. You just took pictures instead of made photos in this context, because you had all the elements, the location, but where you shot it, what she's doing, how you're sitting and she's higher, you're aiming up on her. It makes her look wide. It's not flattering. Like, you know what I mean? Her head's back like that, which it's not flattering shooting a woman doing chest pull downs. It's just like, it's flattering shooting a woman stretching and like doing like, you know what I mean? Not doing like, I don't know. It's just, so that kind of headspace, you have to style the idea. You can't just take photos. It just doesn't work. So again, close, but not quite there, Daryl. Not quite there, Romeo, I mean, my bad. Not quite there, Romeo. But again, you submit, you hear the feedback, and then you go out and you shoot it again. Like that's how you tune a radio station. You tune it, you hear static, you go the other way. Oh, I hear it clearer. Okay, so now you go away and come back and try to tune that same station, you know? All right, let's get into brother. This definitely is a photo from my big brother Les. It doesn't really quite qualify as a lifestyle photo because you are just showing stuff that's happening, that's for sale in the gallery. I definitely see it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Doesn't quite qualify as a lifestyle photo. I mean, again, it's a cool shot. It's Black Santa, which is definitely dope. I love it. Again, the lifestyle photo has got to be some sort of a person interacting with it, or it's hard because the location is just, it's not a lifestyle photo. It's just an interior of a specific object. You know what I mean? So again, the definition of a lifestyle photo is regular people doing regular things photographed in a stylized way that might feature a product or a lifestyle or something that you could sell. That's the definition. The just something for sale thing does not qualify or make it a lifestyle photo. I hope you understand. All right. Thanks for submitting, my brother. This is a shot from inside my brother's gallery where he has a bunch of Christmas market stuff for sale. Let's go. Joshua shot this with the Canon R6 85mm f2, 180th of a second, ISO 400 with a tripod. Self-portrait lifestyle, looking at my phone while at my desk. Shot through the blinds. I noticed some of the tripod and the reflection. Would love to know how to address that in the future. You address that, my friend, with a polarizing filter. You can just turn and take that reflection away. It's also angle of incidence equals angle of reflection, meaning if the glass is here and you're here, it's going to kick back here. If you position this way, so you're aiming here and the reflection goes that way, like you're not going to see that reflection in the image. So 2 ways. Polarizing filter, you can often make reflections disappear completely with no issues whatsoever. But again, this tripod is mostly noticeable to you. Like I see it here now, right? But if you hadn't have said something, I wouldn't have noticed it. It wouldn't have been on my reference. I would have just been noticing, I would have been just noticing your expression. I would have just been noticing here, you focusing on your phone, your Mac keyboard, like the arm, like this. Is this a lifestyle photo? Yes, I'm definitely going to call this a lifestyle photo. It's a little subtle. And for me, this almost feels like cinematic, but there's a lifestyle photo in here. Like I definitely see, I like the layering. I like the way that we can see you here, but also outside, but also the foreground here. Like you've created this multi-layered photo. I like the use of the yellow. You chose a yellow hoodie, which kind of plays off this yellowish room, which kind of works. And also this photo would look great in black and white. Like there's something here that makes this photo really special. So I'm rating it. I like it a lot. I think that you have something here. I just want to see more. I just kind of want to see more from you. I know that you're new to submitting. I also want to show you what this would look like just cropped a little bit differently. Taking away just a little bit of the bottom of the table. I quite like that as well. But again, you're a good shooter. I just need to know you more, learn about you more, and see more of your photos. So you did a great job. This is good shit. Thank you so much for submitting. This is the first submission, I do believe, from Joshua. Maybe the second. All right, Jessica Jean. Not sure if this works as lifestyle. Maybe it's more conceptual, but I had fun shooting it. My friends modeled for me before and let me her apartment. Let's have a look. Is this a lifestyle photo? I definitely see what you're trying to do. Is this a lifestyle photo? It feels more, it feels a little editorial, like meaning if you were being hired for a magazine to do an article on women that read horror novels. And I also see the shadow here and the man with the knife behind her, which is very subtle. Like you kind of have to, it has to kind of sit with you for a second. So for me, it falls in the conceptual more so than it does lifestyle. You're definitely executing an idea. It's just what idea you're executing. I think that that's a little vaguer, if that makes any sense. Like she's reading a horror novel, which is she's having wine. I got that. She's a reader because there's another book over here. She's in her bed, which, okay. Like, again, she could be reading at a table. She could be reading at a chair. But having her in her bed, then that kind of adds this another sort of layer of like movie poster, kind of like Scream 2 kind of a feeling. And then this like shadow with the knife behind sort of re-emphasizes that Scream 2 kind of feeling, and then the red gel in the background and the red color like, so for me it's kind of leaning editorial, leaning like almost photo illustration, photo conception, more so than lifestyle. I think lifestyle reads a lot easier. Like I'll show you, one of my favorite lifestyle shooters is Jeff Lipsky. And I've showed you Jeff Lipsky's work on during my last, let's go, Nate. Thanks for becoming a subscriber. But this is lifestyle. And again, I think many of you are trying to fit something in that isn't lifestyle. I'll say this again, regular people doing regular things shot in a stylized way. So lifestyle, it's tricky, but it's actually easier than you think. But I think too many of you are trying to fit a different type of photography and you're trying to call it lifestyle. So the quicker, like, I help you with the definition of what lifestyle photography is, like what it looks like, what it feels like, I think the quicker you'll be able to make those like stylized photos feel authentic. Because this is all created. Like, get the van, cast the people, put them in the right clothes, pick the right time of day, and then like photograph these people like around this Jeep to sell the Jeep. So you can see this is an ad for Jim Beam. This is to sell the alcohol. So it's selling the camaraderie, the friendship, the vibe around the campfire. You can just buy a bottle and bring it. It's creating memories. So you're seeing this is an ad for Jim Beam, but it's shot in a lifestyle way. You can see this is an ad for alcohol shot in a lifestyle way. This is an ad for the watch. This is the swimwear. This is Roxy, lifestyle. Lifestyle. This is for the clothing brand. Clothing brand. Clothing brand. So you're seeing it's like there's a different vibe, and I'm trying to, like, you can all do it, it's right there, but that's what I'm trying to show you. And it's hard because this isn't it. Do you know what I mean? This isn't it. This is like, I understand the idea, and it doesn't have anything to do with the natural light or anything like that. It has to do with the real versus forced. This is forced. Lifestyle is the exact opposite of forced, if that makes any sense. I hope that helps. All right. That was Jessica Jean. Let's go, Jessica. All right, we got a few more to look at. Let's look at a photograph from Alice Who. Alice says, also known as Vicky Sonic. Alice says, Nikon Z6 II 28-75, shot at 200th of a second, f3.2, ISO 100. This is just a man in his shop making art. Again, Vicky, this proud of you, Vicky. Proud. Because you knocked it out of the park. You knocked it out of the park. This is a lifestyle photograph. Look at this as a magazine cover. Look at this. Vicky, you're proving my point. You can actually find lifestyle moments, but you have to be able to know what you're looking for. Look at this pure moment that Vicky found. Look at this pure moment. This man, he's wearing the right outfit. He's in the right workshop. She's shooting him through the glass like a fly on the wall. She shot it vertically, and she's giving us just enough things to keep our interest, like this little fish, like this little thing here, like this little block of light, and the rest is just all elements in the workshop. This solitary light up here, like, Vicky, this is high art on such a level. And again, I don't want you to think I'm playing favorites. I just want you to see, like, this is an editorial lifestyle photo. And she didn't create this. She found this moment, which proves that it's possible. It's just, this was a perfect storm. It was the right workshop, the right window, the right time of day, and you nailed it. This is excellent, Vicky. Very, very well done. Very well done. Very well done. Wow. Vicky, you're impressing me Wow, Turtle. Turtle, this is hard, bro. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is a man saying goodbye to his wife, shot on a Pixel 7 Pro, shot at the Clovis Community Medical Center. Even if this is shot with your phone, this is too powerful a moment, I think, even to like share. I mean, I know you probably asked permission to take this photo and share, and yes, it is on your phone. I feel like this isn't a lifestyle photo, although it is a lifestyle photo. You know, it's not a lifestyle photo, but it is. And unfortunately, though, what it's selling is like last moments with somebody. You know, you're selling like life insurance. You're selling like, and unfortunately, it's in a way that like, unfortunately, like goes right at the heartstrings. Like it just like, and I feel like for that, it's almost like you're showcasing a moment where now it's not stylized. It's not, but it's actually like a moment that nobody should see. Let's go, Daniel. Thanks for becoming a member. I mean, becoming a subscriber. For me now, Turtle, this now becomes more of a moment where like no one should see this. Like this is just a real moment between two people. And it's like, what would make this magical is if you recreate this in the studio, like some sort of a Botticelli, like some sort of a Michelangelo, like some sort of a Renaissance painting. Like if you look at this, like in the headspace of like a Renaissance painting, but it's a moment in the hospital. You know what I mean? So because of that, it feels almost like too revealing, too personal, and it's definitely not selling a product. It's not selling anything except for like just my heartfelt pain for these two people. You know what I mean? So I think that we're trying to raise a different kind of a feeling from these photos. I think you definitely raised an emotion from this photo, but I don't think that I don't think it's the kind of lifestyle that people want to look at. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've now taken this to more of a documentary kind of a feeling. You know, this feels more documentary. You know, you're following this woman in the last week of her life, you know? So that, to me, although lifestyle, it's kind of morbid. So it kind of shuns people away, and people who are trying to sell their products aren't associating it with that kind of imagery. You know what I mean? So whole idea about this, the whole exercise was to get you used to associating products and selling them in a natural way through your photographs. So for that reason, I think this kind of misses it. On a emotional heartstring kind of puller, whew, got that. But I don't think that was the assignment. So anyways, Turtle, that is my 2 cents on a bag of chips on that one. Let's look at, I think we have a couple more. We got 3 or 4 photos left. Unscratched Sony A7 III 50mm 5.6 1/60th of a second, ISO 250, food truck community event, Smyrna Beach, Florida. Okay, this is again a bit of a taken photo. I definitely see the lifestyle. I want to look at your settings again. Again, this is another this is 35mm, shot on a 35mm. Okay, let me just look at this again. Just noticing the focus, it's not quite tack. Like, I'm looking at, these are our main people, and that's not quite in focus, unscratched. And then I'm looking for where the main focus point is, and we kind of like not really getting it in the background either. So for that reason, because I mean, again, I see the idea. It's like regular people doing regular things, but I think this is more like an in-between moment. There's not like joy or despair or an action, or they're not doing anything. They're just standing there. And then there's a bunch of other people just standing there in the background. And then there's a couple of, like, for me, if it's this, the focus is the food truck. Like, go into the food truck, literally go into the food truck and photograph the guy making the cheese whiz sandwiches or whatever. Like, photograph the guy actually doing the stuff. Like, that's the lifestyle picture in this scene. I feel like I see the photo. It's a vibe. It's very LA. It's like it's got a, but there's nothing happening. Like, there's got to be something. Someone's throwing a football. Someone's doing a skateboard trick. Like, something's happening rather than just 2 people looking off into the distance. You know what I mean? So for me, the art is inside the food truck. What's happening in there with this mystery person in here? What's happening with this person in here? That's where the lifestyle is happening, is inside the truck. So that's my 2 cents. And there's probably great light in there. You got a 35mm lens, go inside the truck. You know what I mean? And shoot in with her and see what happens in there. That, to me, is the vibe. For me, this scene, it's not selling anything. It's not quite selling anything. Although, again, I see what you're trying, but I think this one misses the mark. Lifestyle seems to be a hard one for you guys to nail. So I feel like we might have to revisit. This is Nelson. First entry for the assignment. Fuji XT2 35mm 125 f4 ISO 1000. This is a dog getting their nails painted. This is also a very small photo, Nelson. You'll notice every other photo was like the whole screen, and you'll notice your shot is very small. That is because it is 4,000 pixels wide. That is the requirement, which you heard me say earlier in this episode, so I can actually zoom in. I can't zoom in on this photo because it is literally too small. And if I do zoom in, then it's now JPEG'd and not looking very good. So again, follow the requirements in the Discord. All the instructions are there, including exactly how to export your images for submission. It's kind of one of the rules. Is this a lifestyle photo? I don't think so. This is a snapshot of you taking photos of a dog having their nails done. So you can't mix taking photos with making lifestyle pictures. You can't mix those two up. This is, again, we're even cutting the nails. If the nails is the main feature and you've already painted that, and then there's another foot over here, which likely is painted, that's also cut off. So the dog's head's cut off. Her head's cut off. I understand we're trying to isolate in on there, but to me, the only thing that is the main focus to this is this garbage bin. There's a garbage bin, there's an extension cord, there's a red thing. Like, it's too snapshotty. It's not it's a photograph, but it's not like a made photograph. Like, here's my idea, I'm going to execute it. This is, hey, let's go get your dog's nails done, and then let's take pictures while it's happening. You know what I mean? So I want you to be more thinking about idea and execution and making pictures rather than taking pictures, because the difference is so monumental once you flip the switch where you're executing ideas instead of taking your camera with you everywhere and shooting everything that happens. Because sometimes the stuff that happens is only interesting to you. It's not interesting to the viewers. You know what I mean? You have to make photos that people are super interested in seeing. And when it comes to lifestyle, there's a product, we're trying to sell something. You got to scan your frames. You can't be taking pictures of garbage bins and then hiding a dog in front of it. You know what I mean? It's got to be photography, man. You got to take it seriously and know that I see everything. So yeah, talk to the people of the Discord. You'll see. And even people in chat saying how I notice everything. It's just, again, I'm trying to turn you into a photographer. Photographers have ideas and then they execute the ideas. National Geographic level photographers, Magnum level photographers have the ability to walk around with their camera and shoot National Geographic level photos. The amount of people who can do that is like this amount of people. Most people need to have an idea and time to execute that idea to get high level photography. So walking around and taking photos, it takes decades to get good at photography that way. Decades. All right. This is Donna. Not sure if this counts as a lifestyle photo. Shot at 50 millimeter, ISO 100, shutter 45, aperture 6.7. This is not a lifestyle photo, although I see what you're trying to do. This is up closer to a product photo. And again, as a product photo, like, I do appreciate the effort, the quality, the light, the execution, the room styling and everything. It's just, this is a product that it's called product photography, but it's on figure, meaning you're using the hand, which is the figure, but really the shot is the product. You've styled it, meaning towel, like light flower, but there is no idea. The idea is Hydro Boost. It's just the product that you're shooting and you're just showing someone holding it. So lifestyle is showing a person in the bathroom, spraying it on their face and like massaging it in. You know what I mean? With the Hydro Boost there, and she's doing that beside it, and you can see the Hydro Boost there, like that's the product that she's using to wash her face. Now you have a lifestyle picture. You know what I mean? Her at Shoppers Drug Mart or whatever the shop, or Pharma Plus or Walgreens or whatever, buying the product, and like the exchange of her paying her money and the girl passing the product to her as she's passing her to money, like that exchange, that's lifestyle. You know what I mean? So it's like, or where this was in the grocery store on the wall with all the other products, and you have the girl standing in front like this trying to think of which one she wants to buy, and you're shooting it from behind and it's just walls and walls and walls of product. It's a lifestyle picture. You know what I mean? So you have to figure out a way to use photography to tell a story. This is just a product photo. And again, it's a great product photo, and you should think about product photography, but you have to master how to shoot products in lifestyle as well as product photography in order to really be successful. I hope that helps you, Donna. This is a really great execution, and your quality is there. Your quality is there. I mean, you're using yourself as a hand model instead of using a hand model. And when we use hand models, like, you can see like your cuticles and stuff like that, and your nails and stuff like that. Like, there's no manicure and blah, blah, blah. Like, again, if you're trying to do this and it's for your portfolio, like, you can't just be the model. You have to bring in somebody, shoot your daughter, bring in a friend, like, because the nails, the manicure, like this kind of stuff, you never see this in advertising. You never see this in product photography. If you look at Sarah Emily, and I just showed her portfolio on my last episode, and you look at the stuff that she does with hands and nail care, if you look at the beauty photography, and then the stuff that she's doing with, let me find something that she's doing with nails. I guess nail art. I don't know if I'll find it here, because it was on Behance. Yeah, let me just show you on Behance. Here, you know what I'll do? I'll go to my notes from yesterday, which is super easy. And then I'll just pull the story that I looked at yesterday. All right, guys. This is what photographers are showing when it comes to on figure. Like, so this is what clients are showing when it comes to on figure. So if you look at what the hands look like, if you look at the nails, the manicure, the hand model, like, this is product photography. And it's exactly what you just did, which is essentially like the product was the face wash and your hand was holding it. In this case, the product is the nail polish, and it's showing on hands, right? But it's also showing them holding the products. So if you're looking at how crazy photography is and hand details, if you're showing hands, the hands have to be perfect, because our cameras see details like like I just showed you. Our cameras see detail like this. So we can't retouch that. We can't fix that in post. So we just have to shoot hand models with a manicure. You know what I mean? But again, Dawn, I appreciate the initiative. Just stay with the product. Just don't use your hands. Just use other people's hands. You know what I mean? And it's not to offend you. It's just, I'm not using my hands for hand modeling. All right. We have one last photo from Visual OD. I would like to see you shoot more product photography. I would really like to see that. Visual OD says, going live, shot at 32 millimeter, 1.8 shutter, 250, first time submitting. Visual OD, another one shooting at 1.8. And I have a prediction, which is an out of focus picture. You're starting to see this, right? You're starting to see this pattern of when you shoot with a lens that goes to 1.8 at 1.8, how actually out of focus photos actually are. There is definitely, you are JPEGing a JPEG, Visual OD. You are either shooting JPEGs and then opening that JPEG, doing something to it, saving it, opening it again, doing something to it, saving it, open it again, doing something to it, saving it. What you're doing each time you open a JPEG is you're losing data. And I can see just by looking at her face that you're losing data. Like you can see that you're losing data here. That comes from how you're handling your files. You're not managing your files properly. You're not processing TIFFs from your raw file and using the TIFF as your master. You're opening a JPEG, saving it, opening it, saving it, opening it, saving it, opening it, saving it. This is what happens when you do that. Is after 20 times, after 2 times of doing it, your files look like this. So this is why I ask for files to be submitted big, because when we look at stuff at this size, the first glance, it's like, oh my God, that's great. And yes, this is, no, it's not really a lifestyle photo as much as it is you taking a picture of your daughter or yourself producing this podcast. Do you know what I mean? Like, it has to go further in order to make it a lifestyle photo. It has to go further. There has to be more intent, and more intent meaning this person who's walking through the back of the photo right here with his hand on his face like this isn't right behind the subject. This person here who's on their phone not paying attention isn't in the photo. Like that, those two things, it's over. It's no longer a usable photo because you're not making pictures. You're taking pictures and not being conscious at all with what's happening in the background. So I see the depth that happens with you revealing this other room and something happening here, like the production studio. Yes, I get that. But the expression on her face, looking very kind of not impressed. It's not something that's going to sell her even. She doesn't look enthusiastic about being there. So her not being enthusiastic, I'm going to now attach her to selling my product. Like it's got to feel like something. It's got to feel like something. And this, again, although it's a cool set, it's still a snapshot. And this man here and this man here, this half cut off picture, and now you start actually breaking down the distractions and you realize like it's too distracting a photo. And the expression on the face is no bueno. And the quality of the file, my friend, what are you doing to your pictures? What are you doing to your pictures that's making your files look like this? This is not how photos look. So let's fix that. So when we zoom in your files, they look actually better. You know what I mean? So yeah, whatever you're doing on the back end, we got to fix that, because that part is like, this is your workflow. It's what you're doing on the back end. It's what you're doing to the pictures. And again, are you shooting raw is number one. Are you shooting raw? And number two, no more shooting 1.8, because you can see when you shoot 1.8, you think it's in focus, but it's not. I hope that helped. Guys, we are at the end of a 2-hour-long photo review episode. Thank you, everybody who submitted photos today. I'm going to admit that many of you might have missed the boat on what a lifestyle photo is, but there's some of you who nailed it. You nailed it so well that I actually have to give you photos of the week. I actually have to give photos of the week to the ones that I believe not only understood the assignment, but created work that surpassed expectations. And there are a few. So if you give me a moment, I will choose what I am saying are the lifestyle photos of the week. Lifestyle photos of the week, starting right here. So again, you guys got to give me a second, because it takes me a minute here to pick them all. But I do have some lifestyle photos of the week. I guess I go this way. Yes. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. Yes. And this is good for me, because what I get to do is really showcase the ones that I think really nailed it. And I think today we might have some really, you guys might be surprised, the ones that actually won photo of the week. I think you'll be surprised. We got some repeat offenders, and we have some never before winners winning on their first submissions. So wow. I'm really excited actually, and happy with what we got going on here. Okay. More photos of the week, I think, than I've given in a while. More photos of the week than I've given in a while. Okay. I'm going to have to go back and forth to remember who's who, because I can't remember who did every one of these photos. But we are starting. First photo of the week goes to the one they call Scuba Steve with photo of the week. My guy. Let's go, Scuba Steve. What I want you to note with all of these photos is they are all lifestyle photos. That's for sure. Scuba Steve, photo of the week. Our next photo of the week also happens to be somebody with the right first name. Our second photo of the week goes out to Stephen C. for this photo right here. Photo of the week, Stephen C. Let's go, my guy. Definitely a lifestyle photo. Nailed it. Beautiful. You guys with me? You with me? Our next photo of the week goes to someone, first photo of the week winner. Photo of the week going out to Christina B with this photo right here. Christina B, photo of the week, lifestyle photo of the week. Let's go. Christina B, congratulations, girl. Photo of the week. My next photo of the week goes to somebody who's never won photo of the week before. Someone who's never won photo of the week. His name is Benson. Let's go, Benson. Photo of the week with this lifestyle photo. Well played, Benson. Very, very well done. Photo of the week for Benson. First one. Let's go. I have to put that one over there. That one, that one, that one. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, here we go. I had to change the order up a little bit. Next photo of the week. Next photo of the week. I just got to find the name. This one. Next photo of the week goes to Joshua with this photo right here. Joshua, photo of the week. Who knew? Who knew you could make lifestyle photos and create multi-dimensional pictures through shooting you in a room while you're shooting through glass and you can see through the other glass? Photo of the week. Let's go. You guys enjoying this? We have a few more. You guys enjoying this, by the way? Yes? Yes, I hope so. We got a few more photos of the week coming. Few more photos of the week. This one's going to surprise the person who's getting this photo of the week. I know this one's going to surprise you. Black Phoenix with this photo of the week right here. Black Phoenix photo of the week. Again, I think once you nail your ISO issues that we're having, Black Phoenix, with your pushing your ISOs too high, you're pushing your shutter speeds too high, I think once we nail that, sky's the limit for you. Because compositionally, you're getting better compositionally each time. I don't want you to feel like I'm picking on you. I just see how good you are. So I'm just trying to catch mistakes so before you keep going on and those mistakes become habits. So I'm kind of like smacking your hand a little bit so it registers. So you go in with lower ISOs. It's going to change your game. I'm very proud of you. Photo of the week. Well done. This is Black Phoenix. Photo of the week. Well done. Lifestyle photos. All right. Next, photo of the week. Again, this is a new winner. So I got to actually look back to see the name of this shooter. Let's go. Photo of the week to a new person. They call themselves Joseph Michel. Photo of the week. This dog and daughter. Joseph, so sick. Perfect lifestyle photo. You executed this perfectly. Very proud of you. Congratulations on your first photo of the week. Amazing. I hope I did all right with my picks. And now we are getting into some of my absolute favorites. My favorite photos. I've chosen 3 photos, which are not just photos of the week, but I am giving these 3 photos another classification, which you've never heard before. Hope you guys are excited. There's 3 more photographers. 3 more. And the first one that does not win photo of the week, but actually wins best in show. This goes to Tony M. Let's go. This is, just unbelievable. We are giving best in show to this photo. For lifestyle, best in show goes to Tony. Tony, congratulations. We have 2 more photographs that win best in show. The next one, I'm so proud of this photographer. You know her, love her. We call her Vicky Sonic, also known as Alice Whoo. Vicky winning best in show for this lifestyle photo. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable, Vicky. I'm so proud of you. And our last best in show. This photo made me so happy. And it is a photographer that is never submitted before. This is getting the last best in show and the last photo of the week. She is new. Her name is Marilyn from Pazia Photography with this photo right here that gets best in show. An amazing stylized lifestyle photograph that gets all the love from me. Guys, those are your photos of the week, including some best in show. But I'm sure you want to know, what is this week's assignment, Carty? What is this week's assignment? Well, it's pretty simple. Too many of you missed the mark on the lifestyle photo. And lifestyle photography is actually too important for you to not have a full understanding of. Okay? So if you made a lifestyle photo that you heard me say, yes, you nailed the mark, what you get to do is make a different one now and show me that you can do it twice. Show me your consistency. Show me that you could make another lifestyle photo. And I'm not talking about finding a photo from your archives that applies to lifestyle photography. I'm talking about creating a lifestyle photo. Make one, okay? If I reacted to your photo, oh my God, you nailed it. Make a different one. If I reacted to your photo, that's not a lifestyle photo. And I told you why. You need to now make me a lifestyle photo. You're seeing how hard it is. And you're also seeing how much thought and effort needs to go into it. And lastly, if you didn't submit a lifestyle photo because nerves, ego, not good enough, I think I'm too good, whatever the reason is that you're not submitting photos, This is your chance. It's the last. I won't even be looking at this year. I'll be looking at it next year. But this is the last assignment of the year and will be the first thing that I look at next year, which is a lifestyle photo from you. Start the year by submitting. Start the year by using that membership, and you actually have my eyes on your photographs. Use that. Use that this year, and I promise you your photography will get better. You'll see. Vicky, Alice in my mentorship program. Anna in my mentorship program. Like the people who I push them even like a little bit harder. And again, once you submit, I learn about you. I learn about where you're from, what kind of photographs you make. And I'm also learning the mistakes that you're making, and I can help you fix them right away. But I can't if you don't submit. This is why the photo submissions have been the thing that's the most popular thing on this channel. Like, I can't believe how many people are starting to come around to these photo reviews. My photo review episodes, I used to get 50 views. Now I get like 1,500 views after the fact, people watching these photo reviews. So if you're one of those people who are watching my photo reviews just because they benefit you, join us, become a member, like submit your photographs. I want to have eyes on your photos so I can help you directly, not just me helping you by you watching me help other people. Cool? Guys, thank you so much. By the way, know that this commercial-free stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. As you can see, I got like almost 30 gifted memberships today. Oh my God, like everybody who gifted memberships, thank you. Know that the members of this channel are the reason that you get commercial-free content. You just got 2 hours and 15 minutes of commercial-free content. Because I have a strong membership base on this channel, I'm able to do that. Now that this show's about to end, I turn the ads on. So if you're watching after the fact,
Gifted
I apologize.
member.
Let's go, Vicky. That wasn't a cue for you to gift a membership. Thank you. I appreciate you, but you're mad talented, Vicky. I'm really proud of your progress this last year. Guys, I hope this brought
New
you value.
member.
I hope this brought you value. Steven, Vicky just got you a membership. I hope you guys appreciate this content. No, the hardest part is showing up. Wrap your head around a lifestyle picture. You have a week. Show me next Thursday. I will be here Sunday for a nice little Happy New Year stream. A nice little New Year's Eve stream, maybe Sunday. We'll see. It should work out. Sunday, 2 o'clock. Sure. Why not? Guys, thank you so very much for your support, for watching, for all your memberships, for continuing to be a member, for donating memberships, for donating money, all that stuff. I love you so much. Thank you so much. To the Discord. You're very welcome, Visual OD. Thank you, everybody who tuned in live. I like to give a nice credit roll to all the people who